Hey guys, Britt here. Welcome to End Times Bible Prophecy. Make sure to hit the subscribe, like, and share buttons. Well, this is biblical end times prophecy happening right now. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about this continual rollout of the Mark of the Beast system. And when I say that, I'm not saying the Mark of the Beast is here, but the foundation is being laid. The stage is being set, the platform, the infrastructure is being put in place, including, as we'll look at today, your biometric data in order to create the system that when the Antichrist appears during the tribulation, the false prophet, the Antichrist, they can just simply flip a switch and this whole Mark of the Beast system appears. Because, guys, we're walking into this trap. We're going to talk about that. Especially the younger generation is walking right into a trap, completely, seemingly unaware, willing to trade privacy and control over their lives for minor conveniences. So let's take a look at this article right here. This is from CNBC. It says, with JP Morgan, MasterCard on board in biometric breakthrough year, you may soon start paying with your face. It says biometric payment options are becoming more common in the US, such as Apple Face ID enabling app purchases and Amazon's introduction of pay by palm technology in stores. We've looked at that before. And financial firms from JP Morgan to MasterCard embracing the technology. Some U.S. restaurant chains have started letting patrons pay by face, an option already common in Asia, powered by Alipay. While privacy is a concern, yeah, right? They go, well, but this is the way they say it. Well, privacy is a concern. Don't worry about that, right? That's nothing new, and that's nothing new in the tech world, right? They're always worried about this. So because it's not new, you shouldn't be concerned about it, is what they want to imply. And Juniper Research forecast $3 trillion in mobile biometric payments by 2025. In case you haven't noticed, we're in 2024, so they're saying next year, $3 trillion and biometric mobile payments. So let's see what this has to say. It says, automated fast food restaurant Cali Express by Flippy opened in January to considerable hype due to its robot burger makers. But the restaurant launched with another less heralded innovation, the ability to pay for your meal with your face. Cali Express uses a payment system from facial ID tech company Pop ID. To activate it, users register with a selfie. So you just take a picture of your own face on your mobile phone. Then you can opt in to be recognized, and Pop ID's facial verification confirms the transaction. It's not the only fast food chain to employ the technology. In January, Steak and Shake, a fast casual restaurant in the Midwest, started installing facial recognition kiosk in its 300 locations for patron check-in. The chain says that using Pop ID takes 2 to 3 seconds, compared with a check-in with a QR code or mobile app, which can take up to 20 seconds. So I want you to think about that. From the company's standpoint, they're sitting there going, how can we get better? How can we get more efficient? How can we squeeze more customers through the line and make more profit? Oh, we'll cut the transaction time down from 20 seconds to 3 seconds. So I can understand why some of these companies want to push this, but from the customer standpoint, who are these customers saying, well, let me trade my face, my biometric data, my phone number, all of this information about myself to this fast food restaurant, right? This corporation, so that I can save 17 seconds. Because it takes 20 seconds now to be able to do this. And 20 seconds is such a long time, but 3 seconds, maybe even 2 seconds. Maybe I can cut it down to 2 seconds. And then I can cash out of there. I can check in. I can get my food and be on the go. Because time's wasting. I need those extra 17 seconds. I'll gladly trade my privacy, potential control over every aspect of my life by giving these corporations this power, and by default, the government, because the government is so intrusive into every aspect of daily life and especially corporate life. So there's a whole bunch of people willing to trade everything about themselves to save 17 seconds. It says biometric payment options are becoming more common. Amazon introduced Pay by Palm technology in 2020, and while its cashierless store experiment has faltered, and they say that in this article here, but that's not really the case. They're expanding that cashierless store payment plan. They're putting in, there's different aspects of it that are going out there. And so that hasn't gone away. They're just working the kinks out, right? There may have been problems at certain stores. They introduced different methods of doing it, but it isn't going away, guys. It's installed the tech in 500 of its Whole Foods stores last year. MasterCard, which is working with Pop ID, launched a pilot for face-based payments in Brazil back in 2022, and it was deemed a success. 76% of the pilot participants said they would recommend the technology to a friend. Late last year, MasterCard said it was teaming with NEC to bring its biometric checkout program to the Asia-Pacific region. Our focus on biometrics as a secure way to verify identity, replacing the password with the person, is at the heart of our efforts in this area, said Dennis Gamiello, Executive Vice President of Identity Products and Innovation at MasterCard. Think about what he just said. We're replacing the password with the person. Guys, let's take a time out and turn to our Bibles and read Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 through 17. This describes the mark of the beast. It says, He required everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to be given a mark on the right hand or on the forehead, and no one could buy or sell anything without that mark, which was either the name of the beast or the number representing his name. So here we have a system described in the Bible almost 2,000 years ago that says you'll have to have a mark on your body, on your right hand or on your forehead, and you will not be able to buy or sell anything without that mark. And here we are in our time reading this Executive Vice President of Identity Products and Innovation at MasterCard say, we're replacing the password with the person. So it may not be the mark of the beast yet, right? But he's innovating his way there, right? He's helping pave the way toward that with this innovation that's replacing passwords with people and with biometric data. It says he added that based on positive feedback from the pilot and its research, the checkout technology will come to more new markets later this year. As stores implement biometric technology for a variety of purposes, from payments to broader anti-theft systems, consumer blowback and lawsuits are rising. In March, an Illinois woman sued retailer Target for allegedly illegally collecting and storing her and other customers' biometric data via facial recognition technology without their consent. And we'll look at that in a minute. It's not allegedly, because that's the legalese language they use because of a lawsuit. But guys, it is actually happening and has been happening for quite some time. Says that Amazon and T-Mobile are also facing legal actions related to biometric technology. In other countries, most notably China, biometric payment systems are comparatively mature. From visitors to McDonald's in China being able to use facial recognition technology to pay for their orders, to systems offered by Alipay, which launched biometric payment as far back as 2015 and began testing the technology at Kentucky Fried Chicken locations in China in 2018. So this is already in widespread use in Asia. We'll look at that also in a moment. But guys, this is spreading rapidly. It says, a deal that Pop ID recently signed with JP Morgan is a sign of things to come in the US, said John Miller, Pop ID CEO, and what he thinks will be a breakthrough year for pay-by-face technology. So they think that 2024 is the year people begin paying with their face, and there's a rapid adoption curve. It's called the S-curve for these new technologies and how quickly they get adopted when they roll out into the marketplace. So if he's right, very quickly we'll see this ramp up in the next couple of years to people paying with their face. It says the consumer case is tied to the growing importance of loyalty programs. Most quick service restaurants require customers to provide their loyalty information to earn rewards, which means pulling out a phone, opening an app, finding the link to the loyalty QR code, and then presenting the QR code to the cashier or reader. For payment, consumers are typically choosing between pulling out their wallet, selecting a credit card, and then dipping or tapping the card, or pulling out their phone, opening it with Face ID, and then presenting it to the reader. Miller says Pop ID simplifies this process by requiring just tapping an on-screen button and then looking briefly at a camera for both loyalty, check-in, and payment. So guys, what they're saying, you can save 17 seconds. Right? All you have to do, who wants to have to pull out their wallet and hand over cash or a credit card? You can save 17 seconds, and we'll give you a discount with the rewards program, right? All you have to do is show us your face, let us take a picture of it, look into the eyes of the camera. We'll steal all your biometric data, and we'll sell that to everybody as well. And you'll have no privacy. We'll be able to track everything that you do everywhere you go. We'll be able to cut off whether or not you could buy or sell, but you'll save 17 seconds and you might get, a free taco on your next visit to the fast food dine-in, right? I mean, that's what they're saying here. And so they offer these incentives, and we've talked about this before. This is a big trap. There's a cage, and they're going to dangle carrots in front of it. They're going to offer these incentives. Well, you could have this. You could have this. With central bank digital currencies, they'll say, hey, there's a wallet, an e-wallet. All you have to do is go claim it, and there's X amount of dollars in there waiting for you, $10,000, $20,000, whatever it may be. And then, a certain number of people will take them up on that offer, and then the punishments begin. So they'll start with the reward incentives first, and then all the non-compliant, they'll get punished. They'll get shut out of the system if they don't comply. So that's where all this is going. The past 4 years should be very instructive on how this is all going to go. It just will be a different means, a different outcome that they want, but the incentive structure will still be the same. Hey, you can get this if you do what we want, but if you don't, bad things are going to happen. So this goes on. It says, we believe our partnership with JP Morgan is a watershed moment for biometric payments, as it represents the first time a leading merchant acquirer has agreed to push biometric payments to its merchant customers. JP Morgan brings the kind of credibility and assurance that both merchants and consumers need to adopt biometric payments. And there's some nice politically correct language. What they really mean is JP Morgan brings the kind of power and reach to demand that merchants and consumers adopt biometric payments, meaning JP Morgan can simply say, well, if you want an account here, right, you have to do this. If you want your business account here, if you want this loan, well, we want you to make your customers pay in this way. Just as we talked about before with banks getting rid of cash, getting no cash deposits, no cash payouts. It's all electronic. When they do that, that sort of forces the businesses that do business with those banks to say, well, if I can't deposit the cash at the bank, then I'm not going to accept it from the customers. Otherwise, I'm building up all this cash. Somebody might rob me. Where do I put the cash? I can't deposit it. So they simply go cashless by default. Well, if all of the businesses that you're trying to do business with go cashless, it's going to force a lot of people to go cashless. And the same thing is true here. If this is the way you have to pay or you don't pay at all, that's how they're going to push these things. It says consumers are getting more comfortable with biometric technology. The majority still prefer fingerprint scans to facial recognition. How about neither one, right? How about I give you a piece of currency, this little piece of paper, or at most a credit card, but why do I have to give you my fingerprint or my facial scan in order to buy goods and services? We've conducted business for many, many centuries successfully without taking people's fingerprints or facial scans. Why all of a sudden? Well, why all of a sudden is because they want to control people. That's why. It says, but age is a factor. Gen Z consumers are more open to facial recognition than to fingerprint scans or entering a password. Juniper Research forecast over 100% market growth for the global biometric payments between 2024 and 2028, and by 2025, $3 trillion in mobile biometric secured payments. To be sure, security concerns and the hacking of biometric data as a consequence of sharing it will remain important to the evolving usage and conversation. Sheldon Jacobson, a professor in computer science at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, said he sees biometric identification as part of a technology continuum that has evolved from payment with a credit card to smartphones. Well, the next natural step is simply use facial recognition, he said. Of course, right? Concerns about privacy and facial recognition, he says, they're overblown. Don't worry about it. We voluntarily give up our privacy all the time, he said. We post on Facebook. We use social media. We're basically giving up our privacy. I tell people constantly, everything about you is already out there. So what does this mean? Well, basically what he's saying is, we've already passed the point of no return, right? He's assuming that all those other things he just cited, those are fine, right? It's fine that you put everything about yourself on Facebook. Guys, Soviet spy agencies could only dream of Facebook. It makes this so easy for government surveillance that people voluntarily give up all this information about themselves. So this guy is saying, hey, because you've voluntarily given up so much, look, just give up your facial recognition anyway. I mean, if you're on Facebook, they've already taken it anyway, because you've known for, a decade or more. You post a photo, somebody post a photo of you. You may not even be on Facebook. It will identify you. Or it will identify your children or your parents, whatever. They're already doing this, no doubt. That doesn't make it right. That doesn't mean, hey, no problem. We're already so far down the road. But guys, what it is telling us, these younger generations particularly, are the proverbial frog in the boiling water. They don't see what's coming because a lot of this stuff has been around their whole lives. They don't have the frame of reference to realize how quickly this is changing and what the implications are. because this leads to tyranny. So let's take a look at this next article. This is about that lawsuit against Target. It says, woman files lawsuit accusing Target of illegally collecting customers' biometric data. It says an Illinois woman has filed a lawsuit accusing Target of illegally collecting and storing her and other customers' biometric data through facial recognition technology and other means without their consent. The lawsuit, filed March 11th in a Cook County Circuit Court and published by local outlet Fox 32, alleges Target's surveillance systems covertly collect things like face and fingerprint scans from customers as part of its anti-theft efforts. The alleged practice, it's not alleged, guys. It's not alleged. Go use one of these self-service checkouts at Target or Walmart. What do you see looking back at you? Your own face. They're collecting that data for various reasons. One of those includes, as they said, anti-theft data. If they find through some means, whether it's cameras or whatever, that, oh, you didn't scan that item, but you put it in your bag, we know who you are. You know, we're looking for you next time. They're collecting this data and using it in who knows what ways. But it's not alleged. They've been doing this for years. It says Target does not notify customers of this fact prior to store entry, nor does it obtain consent prior to collecting its customers' biometric data. So what are they going to do? Well, at some point in the future, it will become required to shop there, right? No doubt about it. At some point, they'll make it required to shop there, and they'll say, well, we told you. You know, we had a sign when you walked in that said all of this is required for you to shop here. And I think the anti-theft, we went over this many months ago, is ultimately going to push for this type of technology, this facial recognition, in order to have the Amazon walk and go. Hey, walk into the store, pick up what you want and walk out. But in order to walk in, we need to scan your face, and it has to be linked to some sort of means of payment. And then we don't care if you pick it up and walk out because you're going to be paying for it. They'll roll this out as an anti-theft technology that'll save consumers money because, you know, we won't have to worry about shrink, as the retailers call that, theft. And so they'll push this. And more stores, the stores that adopt that technology won't have the theft problems that the stores that don't adopt that technology have. And those stores will be run out of business, and all that'll be left are the stores that implement these types of technologies. So that's what's coming. And guys, this biometric data, as it mentioned earlier, is already present all around the world. Let's look at this tweet from Wall Street Silver. They state, imagine bragging about how the government can both track you and control your money. This isn't a flex. And here we have this woman, she's saying, Dubai, we don't need to carry our wallets. In Dubai, we only need our faces. There you go. Oh, yeah. And I would say, no, it isn't a flex. It's meaning they're not bragging about this. What this is propaganda. Guarantee you, this woman they show here was hired by the government to make it look, it's cool to pay with your face. We don't have to get a wallet out here in Dubai. You just walk up and you pay with your face. And of course, when you do that, well, what did we just talk about? We changed passwords for people. You'll be given a mark on the right hand of the forehead, and no one could buy or sell anything without that mark. Guys, all this does is set the stage for, put the infrastructure in place for the mark of the beast system to roll out. It tells us how close we're getting to the tribulation period. We see all the signs Jesus and the prophets said to look for converging. Jesus said, when you see those signs coming, when you see all these things happening, know that I'm near, I'm right at the door. So all of this tells us, we already know that we're at this point where we're nearing the tribulation period, this is just confirmation because we see the technological infrastructure being put in place for a system that's indistinguishable in function from the mark of the beast. They could already, in many ways, determine who can buy or sell and simply cut you off. We've seen how they've debanked people all throughout the Western world for not holding the correct political views. We saw what was done to the Canadian trucker protesters. So we've seen this in practice already. They're just fine-tuning it. Soon you'll have no option but to be in this system. Well, maybe not you. Hopefully you know Jesus Christ and will be gone by the time the full system is rolled out. I believe we will not be here to see the mark of the beast. Make no doubt about that. I don't want anybody to think that I think we will be here for that. But that does not mean that we aren't seeing right now the efforts putting in place the background, the technology, the backbone that will form that mark of the beast system. And I believe we are. It's happening right now. So what do you think? Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Guys, make sure to hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons. God willing, I will see you on Monday. Bye. If you want to learn more about the end times and Bible prophecy, make sure to visit my Substack at brittgillette.substack.com. There you'll find my latest videos and articles, as well as notes, where I share the latest news headlines, the articles I'm reading, and the videos I'm watching. Subscribe for free, and each new post on Substack will be sent directly to your email. Just scroll to the bottom of the homepage and hit the subscribe button. As an added bonus, your first welcome email will include a link to a copy of my free ebook, 7 Signs of the End Times. Also, make sure to check out all of my books. Just look up Britt Gillette on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Apple iBooks, Google Books, Kobo, or anywhere books are sold. Thanks for watching today, and until next time, keep your eyes fixed on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith.